So we got the holidays going on. Mm-hmm. Now, there might be some younger people that may not be, things are changing the economy, right? Now, this might be new for some people, but if you're Christmas and broke, should you still buy Christmas gifts?
Fuck no. Right. I think if you are struggling with your bills or have these ambitions and goals, no, you should not do that. No, absolutely not. Don't go into debt to make other companies rich and for social pressure if you're not where you need to be at. Just humbly tell everybody, hey, I ain't got it, or just make you a little craft and move on, or get people candy canes. But that's about it. I'm just a big believer in not going broke or in debt for holidays.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, let's say you buy somebody a $500 purse. I don't even know if I spent $500 on my wife's present before. I don't know. I'm gonna probably say probably not. Like, you know what I mean? But let's say you do 500, and that credit card you put on a credit card because you don't have the money, and you sit there and say, "I'll pay it next month." We know you're not going to pay it next month, but at a 17% APR, if you look at that, how much that purse costs, it's going to cost you so much more to pay it off in 6 months. Then if you were to sit there to your girl and sit there and say, hey, we don't have it. We're going to chill this winter, but we're doing this money to do here. And I promise you, man, like to all the fellas out there, a woman, does she want gifts? Yes. But she wants a man who knows exactly where he's headed, knows he got some vision, and doesn't mind chilling with him at the bottom because she knows he has a lot of potential. Might be getting a little bit off topic on that stuff, but there's something I want to say about that.
Yeah, man, honestly, I'm a piggyback on there. This is about as much as weddings. I'm just not a big wedding person too. I think it's bullshit, And I would say, why spend all this money on this wedding, $10,000, $20,000? If you already know you're already struggling, right? Why would you spend money on that? And that can be a down payment or something like that into an investment for your family that you're starting. Instead of people having a good time, you're using this money. If people's willing to give you, or somebody's willing to pay $10,000, $20,000, kindly ask them not to fucking do that and give you the money, so you can go ahead and just pay for this home and get down payment and get this thing going. And then you can invite everybody to your backyard.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I would do. But again, if you have the money, you're good. But if most of the time people don't, and it is due this expectation of like, hey, this is what I need to do get married or whatever, have this grand wedding, and then now you're just going to this marriage into like extreme debt,
right?
So it's and then you're already starting off with issues, and most of the time people have the student debt on top of that, and then the car payment. But if you don't have all that, then go do your wedding. I understand that.
Yeah. You got Christmas, so you're gonna go into debt for that one. You got Valentine's Day coming up for that. You got your anniversary coming. You got all these things coming up. You got birthdays. Next thing you know, what started as a beautiful relationship is starting to hinder it because now you got money issues. There's nothing that creates a problem beyond the sit there saying like money, right? It stresses people so much. They fight so much over money. And then the reason why they fight over the money is because they don't have the money and they don't have the ability to sit there and say, we're just going to forego whatever we got going on because we can't afford it yet, but we can put a plan in to make sure next year is nothing like this year.
Yeah. 100%, man. We used to, for all our change, just all the whole year, we have a jar and just dollar bills, change, and just save all that shit. That shit would come up to like $400 at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Oh. Like, no bullshit. Go to the changer. You'd be surprised how much change and loose like dollar bills and little fives, they just add up, just throw them in there, and at the end of the year, we used to buy this Christmas when we used to do that. I used to just buy Christmas gifts with that, Yeah.
That's something that we kind of do over here is I have multiple accounts. So I have an account for the mortgage. I have an account for like investments. We start putting money everywhere. So if I get a paycheck, that money's gone because it's deviated everywhere. Yeah. And then I tell the wife, like, if we have money left over, good. We can use that money. You want to go buy something? Cool. We've been saving up that money. Hey, you want to go buy all this stuff for the Christmas? What she did, I was like, cool. We have an account that has extra money because we've been saving money, like just for the small things, like you're saying. Cool. You want to go spend a couple $100s on some kind of tree or whatever? We got the money. We're not going into debt for that money now.
Yeah. Every time I get paid or whatever, that money's gone within 5 minutes, like completely gone, because I have a whole system of me, just how I save, you know what I'm saying? I have a certain percentage that I save. I have a certain way, just like how you do. I have a certain mechanism. So I don't even look at like personal money. I don't give two shits about it. You know what I mean? Like we're in this different phase of thinking now. You know what I mean? Of just how to think with things. But dang, I got this fly that's killing me. Anyway, but with that being said, like soon as I get I have a system, just so I know that I'm always building on my system. I don't want to be like, oh, okay, let me just do this tomorrow, because next thing you know, you spent money, you're not where you don't have what you said you're gonna have instantly, and then this is what I have left. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I said, there's nothing better than sitting there saying, me personally, has nothing been better for my marriage than sitting there saying, we have business meetings, but we actually have financial meetings. We sit there and we get together. And I said, okay, look, I'm going to divvy out the money. You might pay off this. We have two different roles in it. And we brief each other. Hey, this is what we got going on. Okay, cool. And, there's some times where I'm like on my phone, my wife's like, hey, like, okay, we really got to focus on our money. We're real intentional with it. So then I say, okay, we're paying off this one. We went a little bit higher on this bill. Okay, we're going a little bit higher on these things. Where's this money coming from? And instead of money tearing us apart, we're now a tag team to make sure, one, we'll never go broke again. We'll never be that way again. Been there. Don't fucking like it. Fuck that. But we're going to go somewhere together. We're a team, and we're now making our money work for us versus where we're just working to just try to live, I guess.
It's a little different though, right? Once you switch that mindset of like how money really works compared to like the old mindset of how we used to do things. You know what I mean? I'll just take Oki, for example, since Okinawa, Japan is a beautiful fucking place. One of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion, right? But when I was there, I was buying motorcycles. I was buying clothes. I was just going places, just spending money, but I didn't know any better at the time. Fast forward now, if I can do that all over again, I would completely do things differently. Now I'll probably own a spot or something, like some kind of spot out there. I probably did some kind of investment, but it's just different how you just do your mindset compared to like 10 years ago or 15 years ago to where you are now. Most people would call us old and boring.
Yep. But one thing about that bike you had, that wasn't just a regular bike. That shit was extended. It was lowered. It had a paint job on it. Like I think it had lights on it. Like,
yeah, man. I was extra. It's just me. It's just super extra on that thing. But those are good times, man. Like one day we need to just chop it up about like just old Okinawa times. Probably get some of these people some dating advice, because man, I was thinking that I was like, man, dating this time has to be insanely hard. You don't know what the fuck is real. You don't know who the hell is sane, right? It's so fucking like people like just do anything they want on the internet. Like I believe nothing on the internet. Like mostly like 90% of it, I don't believe it. I don't believe the YouTubers. I don't believe the Instagrammers, the TikTok. I don't believe shit. Like I coach a lot of these people. It's just insane. That's all I'm saying. It's entertainment.
And you honestly don't even know how long it's been, because some of these photos, you don't know if it was the same day, the same week, and they just make them look like they look like that for the next 2 years. I think I have a theory on a couple of people that have done that for like the next year, 2 years.
Crazy. And these people they don't have it like they be having it. You know what I mean? And it's mind blowing, some of the stuff that you come across. And you're like, man, you just can't believe these people at all, man. So it's even to real estate, right? So what I found out, a lot of these YouTubers on lie about their numbers. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that just morally. Like it's just not in me to just be lying about my numbers. You know what I mean? Or eating liver. Yeah. Right. So it's like for me, but I've also see that people they lying about how many units they have. They'll say they have these many units, but they're in like a fucking pond of like 8 people. It's crazy. So.
Yeah. I mean, that is the world we live in, man. And, going back to what you said earlier, one of the things that switched it up for me was I started buying stock in Nike. And so I told the wife, well, like I told my wife, and I was like, we don't buy anything that's not Nike. Our first choice is Nike. So they're like, hey, there's like, hey, what do you think of these Adidas shoes? None against them, but I don't have stock in them. I have stock in Nike.
Yeah.
That little switch, those are some little switches, man. When you get a little bit older, you start sitting there saying, where did it start from? It started going to, I only buy these products because I own part of that company. It might be a very small company or a portion. I might go somewhere and be like, I can't tell them what to do, but goddamn, I'm gonna get a dividend from this company, and I might get 30 cents.
Mm-hmm.
But that for me was the biggest switch, is when I started owning part of companies and started thinking myself as an owner and started buying stocks. And then said, I buy that product, so I want to keep buying that product. So therefore, I'll keep paying myself.
I love the fact that you're in stock. I love it, because we're like complete on opposite ends. You know what I mean? For like, you're in like the stock market, I'm in the real estate market. You know what I mean? And it's so cool just to see like both of these worlds just collide, because they do intersect each other. You know what I mean? So, but man, I just think that's very, very interesting how the whole stock market whole thing works. I think I'm glad I got into it, but I'm actually glad I'm not in it anymore. Just for just for the stuff that I have going on, I can't afford any fuck ups right now. You know what I mean? Or anybody tweeting shit over wine. I can't afford it right now. You know what I mean? That dude was pissing me off, man.
Be surprised, man. And it's actually how I can make some money. I look for that stuff in the morning. I look for those little things of like a little tweet comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm gonna make some money off of that. And that's how it works. There are people that are ready at the fingertips. Let somebody come out and say something negative.
The bell. Yeah, you used to be like, I'd be like texting, like, you ready? Like, yeah, drop the kids off in the morning and then wait on that bell, right? And honestly, between the bell, 30 minutes or 15 minutes, you can make a lot of money, or you can lose a lot of money. No bullshit.
Yep.
And again, like, maybe we'll talk about that time how I bought the triplex. Doing options trading. It was fucking crazy. Yeah, bro. I wish I'd have got out a long time ago, but it's one of those lesson learns. Like, it's like Bitcoin lesson,
Yeah, I'll tell you off lesson, like a story a guy told me, and I think you'll be like, I'm good. Like, it gets bad.
I can imagine the hair being pulled out of like got the bad case of the shouldas and the couldas. I should have pulled out. I could have had this. Oh my God. I can just imagine the stories.